Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Just as I expected, 1-1 draw. I predicted a draw for this one. The game pretty much went how I expected. Didn't expect us to go for it too much and didn't expect PSV to go for it too much. They've gone through. We've gone through. No need to. Both teams are concentrating on their leagues as well. No need to put up too much energy in this game. And that is exactly how I expected that game to go. So PSV won, Arsenal won. Both teams had chances. Both teams hit the post a couple of times. Actually, I think the post was hit like 4 times in that match. Could have been 2. I actually predicted a 2-2 draw. Expected more goals. Should have been more goals. Just at the end for them as well. They had a couple of one-on-one chances as well. A couple of good blocks from our players. A couple of good blocks from their players. Should have been 2-2 or 3-3. But expected a draw. Job done for both teams. No need to risk any injuries. I was actually very surprised with the team that we went for. I didn't expect us to go this strong in this particular match, especially for Saliba. I thought Saliba was definitely going to be rested, but he actually started. He went off in the 60th minute. Declan Rice came on as a centre back as well. Maybe we will see him in that position depending on how Tomiyasu and Timber recover. We don't have enough defenders. That is why I was like, today Zinchenko and Saliba have to be rested. But surprisingly, Saliba played because I don't think Kivior is a fullback. So this is what I was saying. I said I don't want Zinchenko to play this game at all. And someone actually said, no, why? Zinchenko is not that good. Let him play. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, without Timber and Tomiyasu, if Zinchenko gets injured, we don't have anyone else to play that left back. You saw Kivior today is not a left back. He's supposed to be a centre back. We've seen someone like Vardy at Man City struggling because he's not a left back. He's supposed to be at centre back. It rarely works. Yes, someone like an Ake plays well as a centre back and as a full back, but for players like Kivior and Vardy, I don't think it works out for them. So that is why we need to protect people like Zinchenko, because without Timber and Tomiyasu, if Zinchenko is not there, I don't know who the hell we're going to play at left back. So I'm happy that several players rested today. And we got the draw at the beginning of the season. Before I come to the match, you actually let me know what you made of the game as well. Before the season start, after the draw, I said we were going to get, I'll be happy with 4 wins, a loss, and a draw. I expected us to lose. Not the game that I expected us to lose. I thought we were going to lose to either Sevilla or PSV away and then win all our home games and potentially win at Lens and maybe draw at Sevilla. But it started to be exactly how I expected. 4 wins, a draw and a loss, but differently. Obviously, we lost to Lens. We ended up beating them 6-0, but we got a good result at Sevilla. And we've drawn against PSV as well in a dead rubber game. Actually, that game should have been like 1-1 at halftime. Talk to both teams. Let's take a point. You go rest, we go rest as well. There's no need of playing the second half, really. We are both through. But hey, we played the second half and the game ended up being a 1-1 draw. Could have been more goals, could have been 2-2, could have been 3-3, but I don't mind. I'm happy that we didn't lose the game. For me, I would have rotated even more players. I predicted a draw, but I was like, I'd not be surprised if we lose because I want us to rotate the whole team. Don't play Saliba, don't play Rice, don't play Saka, don't play Martinelli. Most of them did not play, but let me go to the lineup that actually played. As you let me know what you made of the game. Ramsdale finally got a Champions League start. Gabriel and Saliba played at centre-back, surprisingly. I thought for me, I'd gone for Kivior and Ben White as my centre backs. Kivior played at left back, Cedric at right back. We finally seen Cedric in for the first time in a lot of years. Jorginho in midfield, Havertz and Elneny. I actually went for Jorginho, Elneny, and I think Nwaneri. I didn't think Havertz was going to play, but he started. And then up front, that is what I wanted: Trossard, Nelson, and Nketiah. On the bench, you had Karl-Heinz, Reyes, Zinchenko, Ben White, Rice, Odegaard, Smith-Rowe, Saka, Jesus, Walters, and Nwaneri. So personally, for me, I didn't want Gabriel and Saliba to play at all, but some people have said like we don't really have anyone else. For me, my defense would have been Kivior and Ben White as the centre back, Cedric as the right back, and the youngster Sousa as the left back. But he didn't go with the youngsters today. He went to the experienced team. Ramsdale got his first start in the Champions League. I'm happy that he finally got to play in the Champions League. I mean, I'm sure he's waited for such a long time. He's one of the reasons why we are back in the Champions League, so I'm happy for him. Elneny also got an opportunity. Looks like he got injured again. I don't know, man. It's weird. If Elneny is injured after playing for like 60 minutes only, like that's a weird one. But yeah, I'm happy he also got a Champions League game for us. So I think he's one of the few players that had played in the Champions League before for us, like back in 2016, 2017. But he also got some minutes, and so did the rest of the players. All of those on screen. Jorginho captained us today. Nelson got some playing time. He looked good today. Cedric actually looked okay. Elneny played as well. Kivior got some game time, and Havertz played as well. Players like Havertz and Rice and those guys, they can play in every single game. Like, you don't really need to rest them. Like, if you take a look at their minutes, Rice and Havertz back at Leverkusen and at West Ham and at Chelsea, they usually play a lot of minutes. They really don't need to be rested. that's a very, very good attribute to having a player. Availability. I think Havertz and Rice will always be there for you. Like whether it's Carabao Cup, whether it's FA Cup, whether it's a dead rubber game in the Champions League, they'll always be there and they'll always play and without getting injured. So they all got game time today. So my prediction for the game was 2-2 at the beginning. The game actually started with with PSV actually creating a few opportunities. One of them I forgot to upload it. I didn't have time, but Saliba got a very, very good interception or block. He actually tackled him in the box. Very, very good tackle from Saliba. I had it from a different angle, but I didn't upload it. And then it was also blocked by Gabriel. Very good defending. Maybe that's why he went with those two, just to avoid conceding 2 or 3 goals, anything like that. Both Gabriel and Saliba made a few errors in the second half, but in the first half, both of them for this incident, very good blocks. Cedric as well looked good in that first half. El Neni was playing like Paulo in that midfield. He hit the post. Could have been 1-0 to Arsenal at that stage. Saliba also put in another block in the first half, just before halftime as well. First half was very good, Saliba and Gabriel. Second half, they kind of lost concentration. It was like they were like, you know what, we didn't really need to play today. Let's wait for the Brighton game. But they eventually got subbed off, and then finally came a moment of magic from Reece Nelson and Cedric. It actually came from Cedric and Reece Nelson on the right side. Very good from both of them. Reece Nelson getting an assist for the goal, for the Nketiah goal to make it 1-0. Very, very good finish from Nketiah. Very good build-up play from both Cedric and Nelson. Both of them looked very good on that side. Maybe not the second half for Cedric, but first half they looked very good, both of them, and very good finish by Nketiah with his left foot. His first Champions League goal for Arsenal. Obviously, still not everyone's cup of tea. I still see, even if he scores 2-3 goals, but really don't like him. I do understand why, but for today he got the goal. That's his job. Get the goal, score the goal. I didn't like the way he was mourning at the end though, because he also did the same against Brentford. And in a game like this, it doesn't really matter, man. That is why when Nketiah didn't pass against Brentford, I was like, that game really matters. We need to win, and the game is 0-0. But if you do it against in a dead rubber game like this, or in a game we've already scored 4 or 5 goals, doesn't really matter. So I'm sure he's annoyed that he didn't get the ball, because it was a clear chance. If Trossard passed him, it could have been 2-1 to us, but it doesn't really matter. Cheer up. We've gotten a draw. Absolutely no problem. Ramsdale did make a few saves as well in the first half. PSV actually had a few chances. They hit the post. Ramsdale did save one as well. A couple of them were cleared off the line by Gabriel and Saliba. So PSV are very good. This season, PSV have won every single game in their league. Like, they've not even drawn one game. Like, they've won every single game, 15 out of 15. They've scored like almost 60 goals, which is incredible. But 1-1 at 1-0 at halftime actually to Arsenal. I was happy with this. I expected PSV to score, but I was thinking, hey, listen, if we come and get a second goal, maybe we could get a 2-1 win. But I'd not be surprised if PSV gets a goal, because they were creating chances the first half. They are a very, very good team. So getting a draw there is very, very welcome. Second half, to be honest, if you watch that game, not much happened in that second half at all. In the 60th minute, Odegaard, Rice, and Ben White all came on for Cedric, El Neni, and Saliba. El Neni was injured, so Rice came on for him. Cedric also went off, and Saliba, I guess, was being rested. He went off as well. I guess that was planned. 60 minutes. Odegaard, Rice, Ben White come on and get like a training session, 30 minutes here and there to get ready. Our game is not on Saturday. Our game is on Sunday, so we have a lot of time to recover, a whole 5 days to recover. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. So 5 days from now is when we're going to be playing. So I don't really have a problem with them coming on. Obviously disappointed that Nwaneri didn't get some game time. Nelson did have a shot in the second half. Gabriel actually, Kiwi actually scored in the second half, but it was disallowed because Gabriel is interfering with play. The Premier League refs are the ones I have a problem with, not the Champions League ones. But the moment the goal gets disallowed like that, I usually expect it not to be given. Like, whenever they go to check it, I'm like, yeah, let's just look for a real goal. Those ones are never given to Arsenal anyway. So I think Gabriel is interfering with play. Smith Rowe came on as well. Happy to have him back. Jesus came on. Havertz, Nelson went off. And then right at the end, Gabriel made a mistake that he almost conceded from. But right at the last kick, Trossard almost scored and Kivia almost scored. But 1-1 draw, I don't think that's the end of the world. That's a very good return. If you had to ask me at the beginning of the season, I said 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. Maybe even some said, listen, 3 wins, win all your home games, maybe go to Lens and Sevilla, maybe pick up a draw, and maybe if you lose to PSV, fine. We still have gone through. Our job was done early, and that's the advantage of getting your job done early, because I wouldn't have wanted to come to PSV needing to win. Like imagine if you had lost to Sevilla and then we are second or third on the table and then you were coming to PSV needing to win. It would have been a nightmare because they're a very, very good team, and they would have gone with their first team. It would have been different. None of us went with our first team, so it would have been totally different. But I'm happy with how the game went. We didn't lose 1-1 draw. Could easily have picked up a win at the end, but 1-1, I don't really mind it. I'm doing good, Ake. Lee says good job next game. Yep, we move to the next game. Ayobami says nice job, more power to you, and appreciate it. If Timber and Partey can come back additional 2 players in January, sincerely, we're good to go. I do reckon as well, I think they're going to help with the business end of the season. Some people have been asking for Partey to be sold in January, but no, even if he plays for 3 or 4 games in March and April, I think it's going to help us keep him until the end of the season. There's a couple of games is going to help us. I don't know if he's going to go to AFCON. I'm sure there's Ghanaian fans watching this, but I wouldn't like Partey to miss 3 months of football and then he goes to AFCON and then he comes back with another injury, having played 3 games for Ghana in the AFCON. Just rest, probably miss the competition. I don't know if he's going to miss the competition, but it would be great to have them back very soon. I still do think we need at least 2 players in the January transfer window because as we saw today, if Tomiyasu is not there and Timber is not there, we just don't have enough numbers in terms of defenders and stuff. I think also Man stay in the same position because right now Haaland is injured. If Alvarez is being rested tomorrow, they don't really have anyone else to play up front, so they have to play players like Foden and Bernardo Silva almost every single game. Guardiola is the same. Guardiola usually likes like 18 or 19 players most in his team. So sometimes it could cost you, especially if you want to rest players. Lee says still need a striker in January. Fair enough. Mary says good job, Gunners. Dan, nice seeing you here. Bro, he says I'm with you. We should have rotated more. I agree. Especially I think PSV rested like 5 or 6 players, the likes of De Jong and Dest and Teal. They rested several players as well. So thankfully, if they are gone with their first team, they would have beaten us if we rotated our team. I don't think we learned anything. I'd rather the youngsters experience the top level. They would have learned lots even if we lost. I guess you're right. For defense, I don't think we'd have gone for. We don't have too many options defensively. That is the truth. We don't really have too many options defensively. We just have to work with what we have. That is Gabriel, Saliba, Kivio, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu in his back, Ben White, and we have to include White, Cedric there as well, because if Zinchenko's not there or White is not there, he knows Cedric has to play, so it's good to give him game time here and there. But I do agree that then we should have given like maybe even Nwaneri just some game time so that he can learn something and how much they can handle like this level of football. But players like Cedric and Elneny, don't mind them playing. Smith Rowe coming on, don't mind it. I think Rice had to come on because they don't really have anyone else since Elneny got injured. Maybe you can argue Nwaneri, but I guess it was a plan for them to come on in the 60th minutes. But the good thing is at least Saka rested, Martinelli rested, Jesus rested, only played like 5 minutes. Saliba was taken off early as well. Zinchenko rested. I guess you can include Raya there as well, rested. Odegaard only played 30 minutes. It's good that we got our job done early. They look sloppy in the second half, but it seems they are playing safe, says Umaya. Even the Gabriel sometimes was going for the tackles, and I was like, there's no need, man. We've already gone through. There's no need for you to tackle and get an injury in this game. There's no need. I don't even think PSV are giving a first half. Both teams were going for it, but second half we kind of relaxed a bit and then created a couple of chances each, and that was it. Can you sign Bakayoko to debutize for Saka? He is very good, right? Players like that, Doku and Bakayoko, players that just dribble past you, right foot, left foot, shoot, like relentless. He was absolutely relentless. And in the game that he played them at the Emirates, the first game, he was very good as well. They should have scored in that match. I don't know how they didn't score as well. Hi, Glenn. Nice seeing you. I'm good. Ubale. We need more strength in defense and midfield, says Stanislas. 3 players. I'm not sure you're going to get 3 players. I'm imagining you're going to get 2 players. Arsenal is the best club in the world. I think, people don't want Nketiah, but Nketiah is not going anywhere in January, so he's still going to be there. So we might go for a third striker, that maybe Tony, but I'm even asking myself, will Tony really leave Brentford in January? If we sign him in January, he's not played for like 7 months. Is he really going to hit the ground running immediately? So we have to wait and see what happens. I don't think we're going to get players like Douglas Luiz. Aston Villa is doing really well. They're not really going to sell to a rival now that they are calling themselves title challengers, so they're not going to sell to rivals. Arsenal is the best club in the world, says Mubarak. So you're very right. You're very right. Let's do the player ratings. This one is going to be quick because I want to see Man United getting battered by Bayern Munich for sure. I'm there. I've got my Harry Kane jersey ready. So let's go to the player ratings. And also, nothing much happened today. That's the truth. If you watch the game, there's nothing much that happened in the second half. Trossard missed a chance, or had a chance, shot saved. They also had a chance after Gabriel made a mistake, and that was it. But PSV 1, Arsenal 1 player ratings. Aaron Ramsdale finally got the first game, his first Champions League game. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Really happy that he looked happy today. His dad was saying he doesn't look happy. Today he looked happy. Even after we scored, he looked really happy. Happy that he got a Champions League game. So well done to him. 6 out of 10. There's one that when Rice came on, and then there's a defender, there's a striker who shot the ball and hit the post. I think they hit the post like 2 or 3 times, and I think we also hit the post a couple of times. There's one that went under Ramsdale's hand, and a bit shaky in that situation, but his kicking actually looked decent today, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Gabriel, now, first half, I was really impressed by Gabriel and Saliba, the tackles and interceptions and the goal line clearances, but second half, Gabriel was a few missed clearances that almost cost us a goal. And even Saliba, I need to rewatch the goal back, but it looked like he was the one who got past for the goal. So I had to downgrade them. I'm going to give Gabriel a 6 out of 10. This is very low for these players. I usually give them 8s and 9s. Saliba, I'm also going to give a 6 out of 10. Just for the second half, really. First half, I think it was like 7, 8 for both of them. But second half, Gabriel especially looked a bit shaky. It's like he was just tired. He didn't really want to play this game. Kivio, 5 out of 10. He's not a left back. I'm putting him in the same position as Gvardiol at Man City. I don't think he's a left back. So if you play him in that position, you're not really going to be like in a good position, in a good situation. He's not a left back. Just put him at centre back next to Ben White or Saliba or someone in your resting Gabriel. 5 out of 10. Zinchenko has to be our left back if Tomiyasu and Timber are not there. So that is why when I hear people saying Zinchenko, who would you prefer at left back, Zinchenko or Kivi? It has to be Zinchenko, like in terms of what he gives us going forward. I rather risk those 2 or 3 lapses in concentration than having someone who's not quick enough at left back and stuff. So Kivi a 5 out of 10. Cedric, I'm going to give Cedric a 7 out of 10. I think he was decent for a player who hasn't played. I don't think he's even come off the bench for years for us. It seems like the last time I saw him was 2021 or something. So 7 out of 10 for Cedric. I think he was decent enough. He was getting involved. He was putting in a couple of good crosses here and there. I mean, we might need him. If we don't have Ben White or Zinchenko, if they're suspended or something, Cedric is the one who's going to play unless you throw Declan Rice at right back or something. 7 out of 10. Jorginho, I think, was pretty good. If you watch the game again and you just focus on Jorginho, the tackles, the control in midfield, I don't think he really got exposed. Maybe once because of the pace that PSV have. PSV are just going to pretty much attack you. They're very relentless and they have a lot of speed, especially counter-attack speed. So maybe apart from that, but I don't think he was really exposed. So I am going to give Jorginho a 7 out of 10 for today. Elneny, first half looked good. Again, another player wasn't been playing for a long time. So taking that into consideration, 7 out of 10 for him as well. Kai Havertz, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. A couple of loose balls that you should have given a better pass or maybe driven with the ball more. But apart from that, you definitely saw him in the game. He was not quiet. He was putting the energy in and stuff. So 6 out of 10. He was voted our player of the month last month. And I think this month he's already played really well against Luton and Aston Villa. Today, not the best, but 6 out of 10 for him. Nelson, I think he was our best player today. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He got the assist with a very good run and he looked confident. He's not scared to take on players. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Happy with that performance. I was surprised he didn't come on early against Aston Villa because Aston Villa play with the high line. The moment Martinelli went off, I would have imagined Nelson, even if he's not he's not as good as Saka or Martinelli, but the pace that Nelson has and that in behind, even if you can just run and cross the ball, that is enough in a game like that. So, but for today, 8 out of 10 for Reece. Edin Ketia, second half, not the best, but he got the goal. That is his job. So I have to give him a 7 out of 10. I would have given him a 6, but he got the goal. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He scored the only goal today. He was happy, first Champions League goal, and also 7 out of 10 for Ketia. mainly for scoring the goal. That's his job, and he scored the goal. So 7 out of 10. Trossard, sorry, I've hit the mic. Trossard, how much did I give? Give you a 5 out of 10. I mean, I think I was about to give Trossard a 5 out of 10. I don't think he was great at all today. But the last 10 minutes, I started seeing him more and more, and at the end, he almost scored the winning goal. So I'm just going to give him a 6 out of 10. Could easily be 5, but 6 out of 10 for him. Did I forget anyone? No. So let me recap the ratings for the players again. Ramsdale 6, Gabriel 6, Saliba 6, Kivio 5, Cedric 7, Jorginho 7, Elneny 7, Havertz 6, Trossard 6, just because of the last 10 minutes, really. Nelson 8, I think he was our best player. Ketia 7. Bench players, Odegaard, I'm going to give a 6. Poor control here and there, but I think he just did okay for 30 minutes. Rice as well, 6 out of 10, okay for 30 minutes. Ben White as well, 6 out of 10, he was okay for those 30 minutes. Smith Rowe and Jesus weren't on for too long, so 5 out of 10 for both of them. Arteta, I'm going to give him 6 out of 10, I think is fine enough. We got the draw. Didn't really need to win. Maybe a bit disappointed that he didn't bring on at least a couple, or at least one of the youngsters. Maybe that is why I'm taking his rating a bit lower. And was there anything else really? I don't know what the plan was with Odegaard, Rice, and White. For me, if I'm a manager and I've gone through, you wouldn't even see Odegaard and Rice on the bench. I'd leave them in England. I'd have all the youngsters. You won't lose 5 or 6-0 because PSV are also going to rotate. So I am going to give a 6 out of 10 for today. We got the draw. Didn't really expect us to win today. Went for a 2-2. 1-1 is good enough. We are good to go anyway. I wish Mikel gave those academy boys a little time no matter what, but all the same, we are moving, says Ubale. And Dan says, what do you think is the most important area to strengthen? In January, I guess. Personally, I would actually say midfield. A lot of people are saying striker. Yes, Nketiah is not everyone's cup of tea. And Jesus, with his injuries, he can get injured anytime. But for me, it's midfield because unless Partey is coming back, because if Partey is not there again until April, we are depending so much on Rice. And you've seen the difference that a signing like Rice can do. Imagine getting someone like another Rice in that midfield. That would be absolutely amazing. Just because I felt like Jorginho has played a lot of games, Rice has played a lot of games, just a different body. But I would go with midfield, then striker, then defending that. In that order. For defense, it's only because Timber and Tomiyasu are injured. But if Tomiyasu, Timber were fully fit, and then you add them to Saliba and Gabriel and White and all those guys, I think we are good enough. But if we get a midfield and a striker in January, that looks good enough. But let's go and support Bayern Munich. Let's hope they thump Man United. I'm happy with the 1-1 draw. Good results away at PSV. We only lost one game. Remember, this is the first time we are back in the Champions League. For most of the players that we have, Nelson, Ketia, Saka, Martinelli, obviously Ben White, Ramsdale, Raya, Saliba, all of Trossard, all of those players are playing Champions League for the very first time this season. And even if you take into consideration players like Elneny who've played that before, it's not that much. Maybe one season back in the day, and they were even injured for almost the whole season anyway. So I think we've done very good for our first time back. 4 wins, a draw, and a loss. We've managed to score 6 goals in a game, 4 goals in a game. We've gone to very tough places at Sevilla and PSV, and we've not lost. So I think that is good enough. I'm happy with that. But 1-1 draw. Keep letting me know what you thought of the game after you finish this video. But I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.